When you need that fix, that medicine.
What's goody? What's really goody? I know you all miss me, but I'm back with my guys in the building. They held it down. How was it, you guys? It was good. The first part was tight.
It was tight.
It was dope. It was some written shit, but it was dope.
He said he said he needed you to freestyle with him, but you know what I'm saying? You missed your shot.
Codigo, right? Stays exclusive. Yeah. Exclusive stuff only. But speaking of exclusive, we have with us an exclusive person in the building right now. He goes by the Armenian Unicorn, I believe.
What up,
Pierre, what's really goody? How are you?
I'm well. How you guys doing?
Man, we happy to have you in the building, man.
I'm happy to be here.
Fresh out the studio, working with artists.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was just in the lab with Ricky P, a Taylor gang. You know, we got a little project coming up. Not hip hop. Be surprised. He does a little progressive rock, little project going on. So
nothing wrong with that.
Changing lanes.
Yeah, we trying to get a band together right now.
That's what's up, man.
So far, every audition's been trash.
These chicks don't even know the name of my band, you know?
You already know. Yes, sir.
You know, you mentioned changing lanes. I know you used to be out there figure skating.
Yeah.
Yo, tell us more about that. Yes, it's crazy.
You skate, bro?
Yeah, so, you know, people always think of skateboarding because they see the tattoos, but, you know, them came along after I was a figure skater, did that for 17 years.
Okay.
I was ranked 10th in the U.S., and I started getting into the music lane. So when I retired at the Olympic qualifier. I got injured in the first round, so I couldn't finish off the competition. So I was like, this ain't for me no more. Yeah. Came back to LA and just, you know, kind of put that behind me. But I just posted a photo and a video about it the other day, and people were like, that's not you. I was like, yeah, it is.
That's
having a hard time trying to
you
know, put it together that was me.
Yeah. Yes, because it's kind of rare you see somebody, you know what I'm saying?
That's different as hell.
Right.
I've never heard nobody say that.
Yeah, it's a dead sport out here. People are like, they got ice rinks in California, but it's hot out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's indoor, and they got them everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The only ice skating rinks I saw was up in San Francisco around Christmas time. The Embarcadero, they
it's some
get everything out.
Anaheim.
Really?
Yeah. There's a Disney rink in Anaheim. There's a couple of them around there. There's a couple in Burbank. You know, within every 20 minutes there's an ice rink.
He seems like a common patron for that place. Right?
So let's talk about your journey into getting into music.
Yeah.
How did that begin?
So, you know, being a figure skater, I had to pick and source all my music that I had to skate to. My mom's a violinist, so I came up with the classical music, and I was actually going to FITM. My pops is a couture designer, so I was going to FITM to kind of learn how to, you know, I was like, to be honest with you, I was like, it's the only place that I'm going to be able to be around so many women. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
But graduated from then, I started styling Jeremiah. I did the celebration video for Game, Wayne, and Wiz.
Okay.
So from there, I started hopping in the studio, just flying the wall, rolling blunts. That's what I did. I just came to the studio with massive weed and just rolled blunts.
Yeah.
I was in the studio with Sounds. Shout out Sounds. He produced Nicki Minaj, Ray Shremmer, Throw Some More. He produced Justin Bieber's Confident. So he's, you know, super producer to his own right. I was in the studio with him, and he was like, yo, you want to come to this Bieber session with me? I was like, yeah, let's go. That changed my life.
You're like, absolutely.
Yeah, walked into the session. It was cool, you know, watched how he worked and everything, and being a fly on the wall in enough studio sessions, you start learning all the lingo. You start I never went to school for music. I never went to school for music management, none of that. But I kind of fell into it, and I started realizing that's what I wanted to do. So I started working with local artists. Started putting them on in the studio. My homies at studios put them on, picking beats. I go on Twitter and I, you know, send me beats, and I get about 100 beats throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to sort, but I've been lucky to be around a lot of producers that have weight in the industry. So being able to use them as resources with upcoming talent, that's kind of my forte.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Being that dot connector.
Yeah. And social media has helped a lot, you know. That's like the #1 thing. Being around Bieber in 2014, that kind of catapulted my following and put me in the room with so many different people. So
sure,
man, you go on your IG, you've been in the room with everybody.
Yeah.
I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
I got a question. What's your favorite part of the process?
Man, favorite part of the process is hearing that first fucking note from the producer, and then everything on after that to building.
Getting inspired by that note.
Yeah, the inspiration from that first melody that comes up, you know. and you're like, oh fuck, I like that, you know. And somebody comes up with a dope hook, and you're just like, all right, let's go with that one. So it's just building the song and then hearing the end result.
So do you do any songwriting yourself?
I don't do songwriting.
Okay.
I'm not really into the songwriting part. I'm very into the, you know, I'll throw melodies out here and there, and you know, if a word don't fit, change it up. I'm very hands-on in production. I'm more into the vocal production of things. People always like, why don't you sing? I don't want to sing. Why? I don't want to be in front of the camera. I like doing everything on the back end of things.
Yeah.
Same thing when I was a figure skater. I hated being in front of the camera. You know, you got 20,000 people around you, quiet as hell. You can hear a pin drop, and it's just you on the ice. Ain't nobody to help you. Ain't no teammate to pick you up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing in the music industry now. I've been doing it all on my own. Nobody helped me up. Nobody gave me no funds for no studio. Nobody, you know, said, oh, read this book or do that. Correct. It was strictly all from me, just observing and learning.
That's a trip, because a lot of people on the outside, they always think there's some book print way to put yourself in that position, and it's really not.
Right.
It's a lot of trial and error, and you know, like you said, you got to be a fly on the wall. Sometimes you got to really start from the bottom and build yourself up. And
Absolutely.
I think somebody like looking at you and they can see where you progress to, they should really like watch your journey. You know what I'm saying? Because you went into a whole field that you weren't even from.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's what I take pride in, is pushing the envelope. And you know, if I'm on the edge and y'all don't want to jump, peace, I'm out. I'm jumping.
Yeah.
See what it's like. You feel me? I was afraid of heights, jumped out of an airplane. Not afraid of heights anymore. Yeah. So it's like conquering your fear and knowing the unknown, going into the unknown, and knowing that you can come out of there on a number of occasions. It's just easy how it's done. Like, I never worked in the Latin industry. I'm working in the Latin music now. I produced executive produced a couple of Latin projects. You know, I used to manage this kid from Brazil. He was dubbed like the Justin Bieber of Brazil. His name was BL. Dude's got, you know, millions of followers on Instagram, millions of subs. Went out there, did the tour, did the whole thing. Doesn't speak Spanish. Wanted to sing in English. I was like, nah. I was like, let's speak Spanish.
You're like, nah.
I don't speak Spanish. You're gonna have to learn. Gave him his first Spanish song. He was like, I don't want to do anything else. I want to do Spanish.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Had him in the room to the point, never sang Spanish. Within 2 months of producing this EP for him, he was in the room with J-Lo in Vegas talking about, we want to, you know, collab, so on and so forth. J-Lo worked out to his music, to his Latin music. You feel me?
Crazy.
So,
is it a challenge getting artists to trust your judgment? Because like in that situation, you know, he didn't want to do Spanish music, but you're telling him, nah, this is what you need to do. And as you see, it became successful.
It's a touchy thing with the brand, right? Like, you think that you as an artist, you think that you're one thing, but really there's so much more that you can do, right? And it really takes that right person to push you in that direction. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's difficult to be that person pushing, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And let me, you know, there's not one artist that I know coming up as an artist that was happy with the word manager or management. Yeah. You hear manager, I hear manager, I don't even want to deal with anybody. I'm like, oh fuck, that's gonna be a headache. You're gonna fight for your 20%. You don't give a fuck about the artist, really. You know what I'm saying? But me, it's a whole different passion for me. The artist comes in, I build relationships with the artist. I had the kid living at my house, you know what I'm saying? And money talks. When you fronting the bill for everything, you know, he signed to Warner Brazil, but Warner Brazil only gives him so much of a budget for what we wanted to do out here.
Which is all recoupable.
Which is all recoupable. And that's my favorite word is recoupment, because I don't do anything unless I know I'm gonna recoup out of that. Whether it be, if I'm buying masters for somebody, I already know it's because, you know, I'm getting something out of that. If I'm putting money up for a tour, which I've done, you know, if I'm doing merchandise or so on and so forth. Fact is, I've done everything that you could possibly do, from merchandising, branding an artist, to putting them on the road, to giving them the records, and even swagging them out and giving them some, you know, style. Like, people come up and they just look like Mickey Mouse, but they sound great. But then you give them the whole, and that's when they start understanding, like, all right, well, this is work. I got to wake up in the morning. I got to have my lineup every 2 weeks, every 10 days. I got to be in the studio. I got to work out. I got to be with this person and photographed with that. If you don't understand that, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah,
100%.
So there's a lot going on in the industry right now. And my co-host Codigo Red got these hot topics. So let's go ahead and get into these hot topics. And we definitely want your opinion in it. So let's get it.
First, I want to say rest in peace to T Grizzlies manager. She was just shot.
Saw that
recently, which is really intense, because 2 years ago he had made a post about how he wouldn't be, like, basically saying, well, if she's not here, I'm not there, you know, like.
That was his aunt too. Huh? That was his aunt too, right?
You said what?
His
oh
aunt,
yeah, I think that was his
auntie,
aunt. Yeah,
that's
she
his
was only
auntie.
like 40-something years old. I think she was like 41.
Yeah.
And you know, my heart just goes out. And I wanted to ask you a question. I don't know all the artists that you've worked with, but she mentioned Bieber. Have you worked with, you know, T Grizzlies or McMills or?
I have not worked with T Grizzly personally. As far as rappers that I work with is, you know, been in the studio with French. I've been in the studio with Jeremiah. I've been in the studio with Pharrell. You know, everybody that I worked with have kind of just fell into. Now it's kind of like if I wanted to work with someone, I could just reach out and say, yo, you know, this is what I do. This is who I am. I'd love T Grizzly's last album was amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was one of the most underrated albums of recent albums dropping. So I feel like with this happening, as tragic as it is, it's something to write about. So, you know, it's everything you go through in life as an artist, as a creator, is something for you. Every feeling goes out into that music. And I feel like if they can channel that negativity into making it positive and making a memory into it, it'll work out. But, you know, I think T Grizzly would be great for me to work with. I'd love to work with him. I got hella beats for T Grizzly.
If you're listening to T Grizzly, that's your in right there, bro.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned, you know, recently released albums. You know, you have Drake. I was telling them I'm still serenading on, you know, Drake's Take Care package. And then you also have Young Thug just dropped his album, has everyone on there from Nav to who, like,
right.
I don't know. Gunna to, you know, Gunna's a given.
Lil Baby, Quavo.
We just had an event for them here at well, not this studio, but our new studio. Tell me what you think about that new album. Have you been listening to it? Like, what's good?
Yeah, I listened to the Young Thug album. Look, I'm a huge fan of features. I think a lot of the artists that bring the features on that compilation project is great. Back in the day, you used to have Wayne, Ross, Chris Brown, you know, everybody on one song, and that it would just blow, and that was what it was. I think now, you know, with the way streaming is going, you need those features because all them features are, you're not even though you're sharing 50% of the same followers, the other 50% you're not. So, you know, I think the new album is dope. I just think there needs to be a lot more push in terms of records dropping. Back in the day, before we had social media, you saw billboards everywhere. You saw stickies on the wall. You saw everything.
That's because those budgets were big. Those label budgets were big, and they were spending a lot of money. Now it's like a lot of people are independent, or they got a deal to where they got their money structured into what they doing.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
like, it ain't them $5 million, $6 million deals with those extended budgets, you know?
Right. But see, managing an artist that was signed to a major label, he had a 360 and they own 90% of his digital.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
So think about how much money the labels are making off of streaming.
He might as well just get a 9 to 5 at that point.
Right. It's a lot of motherfuckers with 9 to 5.
To be real, man.
That's a crazy
absolutely.
90%.
And you know, and you know, coming back to Drake, his album, it's a bunch of songs we all heard of. We already heard them before. You feel me? It wasn't like they were dead ass like complete different remixes with different features to give it. It was just the same because he got to put that out. He knows the label and album. Let's put something out. Look at Chris putting out 30 songs on an album. This is the second album he's doing 20 plus songs on.
Yeah,
you know. So and great for the sales. It went platinum, doing everything it's doing. Sound's got seven joints on the album. You feel me? So for producers, it's great. For other artists, it's great to be on those records. But when it's not being pushed, what exactly are you making off?
There's certain artists that don't need, like Drake, don't need that push.
Nah, he don't need
Yeah,
it.
But we were just talking about
all.
Ross and how successful he is.
Right.
But his album, like, it's good. It's #1 right now.
Right.
But it didn't have a lot of promo behind it, you know, from leading up to the release date.
Of course.
those are those loyal fans, though. For real.
I think J. Cole's the only one that can really drop an album without having any promo and still hit platinum without any features.
Or features, really. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't need the features. It's a lot. I feel like some artists don't need features. I mean,
A lot of them out there, yeah.
A lot of them out there don't need them. And a lot of them don't sound good unless they're on a feature.
Right.
That's very true.
Okay, so with that being said, I think we should not all of us, how about everyone, let's say like we all put in a name, 5 people at least that we feel like don't need a feature at all.
Okay.
And it's 5 of us, right? So let's all say one name that doesn't need a feature.
Okay.
I mean, I already said Drake.
I don't think
Drake.
I don't think J. Cole needs features on albums. He does well.
I think Travis doesn't need a feature.
I disagree there. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Kendrick.
I co-sign that. I co-sign
feature.
Kendrick for sure.
Who'd you say? B?
Drake.
Drake. Yeah.
That's. I was gonna say Kendrick. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah,
but
Kendrick
I was like,
for sure. I mean, listen.
You don't feel like Travis?
He always copy what somebody else say.
Yeah, look at you always. I was going to second that.
Let me ask you
Hey,
a
but
question.
I'm always gonna pick a West Coast cat. You know what it is.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Shout
All the way
out.
through.
What's up?
Shout
You know
out
what I'm
LA.
saying?
You got Travis. Yeah, he got a distinct voice. He got a unique, side to him. But you can't listen to 60 minutes straight of that Travis auto tune. That's how I look at it.
I can't.
You can.
But I know people who go crazy. Like the fans that I know for Travis, though, just knowing how fan based they are, like they go so hard for Travis.
Now that his girl's
Super
worth
loyal
$1 billion.
The loyalty is crazy. I mean, I love it.
I can't take that like yodeling type.
Actually,
shit.
all right. So this
I don't like that shit.
this artist actually like he puts a lot of features on his shit, and maybe I just really like him and I've acquired a sound for him. But I could listen to a whole E40 album.
Oh yeah, bro,
That's
that
for
was
sure.
on my mind. I was about to say,
there's
even
some
though
West
he's old
Coast shit.
school,
You know what I'm saying? You got it
all the way through.
Yeah,
all the way
it's
through.
some West Coast shit. Get out of here,
I'll
right?
tell you what fucked me
Hey,
up.
you need to look around, girl.
I'll tell you what fucked me up is I was thinking E40
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
writing all his shit this whole time.
No, please don't kill my soul, bro.
I know for a fact he got writers.
Everybody got
Everyone has writers. Everybody has writers.
Yeah, but
Everybody.
E40
Like,
was the
nobody
one. He was the
cares.
one known as the game spitter.
Man,
and
why'd you
bringing
just, bro? My heart
Listen,
is
shout out to
broken,
all the
bro.
writers out there that don't get no recognition.
Man,
That's
just-
over. I think that shit is overhyped, man.
Man,
Like,
but why they
it's
give- why
only? I think if you
Because he's an OG though. That's
okay,
that's
just to be
Yeah.
an OG. That listen, Nas. He's not. He's the only. He writes all this shit. Like certain rappers, they write all. If you're a lyricist like that, if you're a hip hop lyricist like that, classified in that category, we get it. But everybody else, long as the song is good, man.
Yeah,
Nobody's
that.
sitting there like, man, I wonder if he wrote this. Like, if it's
Yeah.
a good song, it's a good song.
But that wasn't even an issue in the
Nobody-
90s
Yeah, that's
when you had
hella
Nas and E40 and the Pox
Yeah.
and everybody. They was
Yeah.
writing. They were really writing their own
Yeah.
shit on paper.
But I'm not-
now it's different. Now
Yeah.
you got all these writers that are coming
Correct.
in. And why not?
It's
share
been
the
like that.
wealth?
Here's a bubble buster for everybody. It's been like that. That shit didn't just start.
Yeah.
People been helping people write rhymes. People been ghost writing. That shit is not new. It didn't happen over the last 20, 15 years. This shit's been happening.
I'm not under any illusion that it didn't happen, but what I'm saying is like I expect that from a new school rapper. I don't expect that from like the E40s. You know what I'm saying of the game.
I would like to see more artists picking up a pen and a pad.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's-
when the Black album came out,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z had Fade to Black, and remember they had that footage of him actually going into the booth, spitting off top, and then you had artists like Lil Wayne start doing that.
Right.
But not everybody got that skill like that. Some people
that's
need to
correct.
pick up a pen and a pad, and I think that's where the game start getting a little fucked up. Is
Yeah.
that people's getting away with too much freestyling. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Horrible freestyling.
Yeah.
It's a nice balance that you have to have, right?
Yeah.
Like you could freestyle some of it and then be like, all right, give me a second, I'm gonna write some shit down. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because the freestyle is good for the flow,
Yeah.
and the flow is like really where the emotion comes from. But if you have a good flow and then you have a fucking killer, you know what I'm saying, one line, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
and then the flow and then another killer one line, that's a nice mixture. I think that's really the mix that I like to listen to.
Let me
anyway.
ask you this: does the same thing apply to singers?
As
You
far
hold them to the
as,
same standard,
far as writing,
right? As far as writing,
I've
because just
thought-
because you can sing don't mean you can write.
I've always thought that
Nah.
singers had writers all the time. That's what I've always
I
thought.
Absolutely.
I thought it was
Absolutely.
rare.
Yeah,
that
don't they always have
write their
writers?
own-
Absolutely.
That's what I've always
some
thought.
do, some don't. But
I
it's
guess
like,
maybe it's a double
Like
standard for me because I
know
don't hold them to
Beyonce
that.
ain't writing none of that shit.
Beyonce, Chris, it's a lot of people that don't write, but I
Yeah.
feel like as long as the song, because you still have to execute the song,
Yeah.
Yeah,
period.
absolutely.
Whether you write it or don't write it,
Yeah.
you still have to execute the song. You still have to sing. You still have to rap. You still have to have the cadence. Everything has to be executed for it to be a
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah, and the writer is writing for you
Yeah.
based on what everything he just said on the.
And to piggyback off something that you previously said, a lot of artists come in, they're not all fly and have a
Right.
style. So like you're really molding the artist into being something. So when you're writing the rhymes or whatever for them, you're really molding them into being what you're building them up
Right.
to be. So there's really nothing wrong with writing the song. because nobody comes in fly with style. You know what I'm saying? The team behind them is giving them like, wear this shit.
Well, yeah, you got writing sessions. So what happens is, you know, the label will put like 8 writers in a room and play the beat or play the song, and they'll all just write whatever they think, and then they'll pick and choose their favorites, and then the artist is just like, all right, I like this one. It's like that show Songland. I don't know if you guys watch that show.
No.
It's the best show of music show on television right now.
What's that about?
It's basically like American Idol, but what it is it takes singer-songwriters, actual singer-songwriters, and puts them on a stage, and then the judges get to pick their favorite songwriter. For say someone like one of the judges is celebrity Meghan Trainor. She picks the song, she goes and she sings the song, chooses the song, and if it's a single that she chooses, then the kid who's a writer gets a deal through the
that's
right
dope.
that in there. So it's a really dope show. So I'm really into the TV shows, and you know, putting the albums together, putting the records together. I work with an amazing singer right now. His name's David Corey. Kid was on X Factor in 2014. Dropped out 11th place, I think. Decided to do his own thing. Been doing his thing, man. The kid's so good. I mean, we've been in talks. We just left Universal last week. I was at the show, 24-hour show last night at the Roxy. He killed it. He had everybody in there. PNB Rock was in there, and you had Cassie Veggies. But the thing is all of these artists, again, they got the name, but you'd be surprised that they're not really living the life that they could live because these labels keep them so trapped.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that is like a lot of these people think that these rappers are really making like hella dough because they are all hella iced out, you know what I'm saying? And they like have like the best clothing that they could possibly have.
Let me ask you, you know how many units Blueface album sold in a week?
You about to blow my mind or something?
100? That shit's trash.
14,000 units in a week. I'm talking, you know, he got all kinds of cars, all kinds of jewelry. He got millions and millions of streams and millions of views and millions of plays. You put him in an arena, he's not selling out shit.
No, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? He may be going to sell 1,000 tickets.
A lot of the money comes from shows.
Why is that?
It's because his brand it's not a brand that goes out to everybody. It's a niche brand, and he not really for the people. Look at Trippie Redd. Look at 6ix9ine. Everybody, yeah, they were trolls, but what they did is they kind of came down to the mind level of the people that are following them. So of course they're gonna get, you know, Trippie Redd made millions of dollars off of his merch sales.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It always has to be something other than the record sales.
Right.
And he bundled
always,
too, you know what I'm saying?
It always has to be.
Is it because their records aren't selling? That's why?
I mean, nobody's really making that much money off of record sales like back in the day too. Like back in the day, you were getting more money on record sales. Now you're not getting that much money on record sales. But if you're smart, you build your brand, you have a following, you sell merch, you go on tour. You go on tour.
It's the side hustles.
It's just like Boosie. Boosie make money because he do tours. He does shows. He sell out shows. Gucci. That's how his streams. Exactly. That's why he just kept releasing music, Because all the time you release music, you may be a great artist, and you may release one album, and it may do all right. Then you release another one, and then you release another one. It's streaming on YouTube. It's streaming on Spotify. It's streaming on Apple Music. It's streaming on Tidal. All that's a check. And then it just keeps going. Right. So you may have a favorite song, you may listen to it 20 times, and he may listen to it twice, and it just keeps generating. And then that money's generating
exponentially grown.
Those digital streams, like the digital streams and the touring off these clubs, and man, they be caking up. And that's how these artists are able to stay afloat because they able to do those tours.
You think
capitalize on that?
You think that's why Nipsey was touring a lot?
Of course,
he was making bread.
And his merch sales. That's how the marathons. That's how his store started out. Online sales are booming.
Your money is gonna be based on your popularity and who you are and your fan base. So if they know you about to come, they know you about to come to the club and you in like fucking Iowa somewhere. They like, shit, this the biggest act we done had.
Everybody in that state showing up.
Yeah, you like, shit, I need 50K. And the promoter's like, okay, like 50K it is, because they know everybody in that city is gonna come see you because of based on your fan base. And then you do 10, 20 of those shows,
perfect example. One of the greatest moves in music history that I think was when Jay-Z put Khaled on Beyonce's tour. On that tour that they had. They weren't selling tickets. They weren't. Beyonce's not selling out an arena. Oh, that's unheard of. Nah. All right, Jay-Z. Power move. Bring Khaled to open up the show because everybody fuck with Khaled. Everybody, no matter what city you're in, you're coming out for Khaled. You're coming out for Khaled on Khaled's set before Beyonce goes on? Never heard of
like even if you don't like Khaled's music, like you love his energy and just him as a person,
ticket sales
you
went
fuck
up.
with that.
I would
you know what I mean?
disagree on what you on that one. I don't think they came out for Khaled like that.
You don't think so?
Not Beyonce fans.
I don't think they came out for Khaled, but I think Khaled.
Not Beyonce fans.
I think he helped.
He helped.
Helped.
Hitting 10 million.
It's a whole new demographic.
I think he helped. I think he helped, but I think the Jay-Z and Beyonce fans are going to come out regardless.
But I think he was the
but they weren't. The numbers were proving that they weren't in the first week of the show.
He was bringing out big artists.
Oh yeah.
He's bringing out Chris. He's bringing out a Future.
He wasn't the main opening act though. They would have like
of course they would have up and comers open up. He was direct headliner.
I think Anderson .Paak was on that tour, wasn't he?
Yeah, each city was a different opening act prior to Khaled.
So
Khaled was
because I went to the one here.
Yeah, I went to the one in San Diego.
But my point is that everybody fucks with Khaled as opposed to just having Chris open up for Beyonce.
Yeah, just one
headline with one major artist. So there's different avenues of making moves. Coming back to what you said about the albums that dropped is that's what it is. There's not enough marketing going to it. The labels are keeping all the marketing money to catch up on what they spent on the artists that didn't provide anything for them or didn't make any ROI. So it's different. I'm in the process right now of starting my own label. So I've been
congrats, man. That's dope.
You. Yeah, absolutely. I've been really working on it for the last 3 years, trying to go through and get my imprint. I have, producers, artists that I work with. I was managing a couple of kids and, management's just not my thing. I want to own everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to just get a percentage.
I'm not mad at you about that. I mean, who doesn't want to be in power? You feel me? Yeah. Speaking of power, coming on.
Yes.
You got super hype for that.
If you have stars, it's coming on tonight.
Yes. And if you got that fire stick, you probably going to see it a week.
Hey, so how many seasons of there is that?
It's the final.
This the final one.
No, okay, so but how many seasons do I have to binge to catch the fuck up is what I'm asking.
Is this
4 seasons?
No, this is the 5th one.
4 seasons,
okay.
I watched like 4 episodes of the first season. I just got over it.
What?
For real. Hey, look, it ain't no... It ain't no Sopranos, all right? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It ain't no Sopranos.
What you gotta do is with your lady.
Yeah, she's already caught up.
But she's telling you it's gonna be dope. Y'all just need to put y'all phones down.
Yeah,
exactly. And have some. It's funny though because I feel like with this season though, I feel like because they've carried it on for so long, I feel like the ending's not gonna have anyone happy.
Yeah, I'm not trying to figure out what's gonna happen. I'm not as hyped to see it as I was the past seasons where I was like, oh shit,
that's good. That's good because everybody that get hyped to see the ending of these series would be disappointed. Yeah, so maybe it's gonna be something to surprise y'all.
It's gonna be dope the way it ended last season though with Tommy shooting Angela and then Ghost seeing them. So they're gonna be going at it. So
thanks for that spoiler. Appreciate that.
No, you don't know who these people are. You don't see forever.
You gonna forget by the time you see the rest of it.
Shit, a matter of fact, you should go get some Popeyes and sit with your girl and watch that.
Oh man, them chicken sandwiches
I know. What's really goody with this Popeyes?
I'm a Chick-fil-A faithful. It's too close to the studio.
Standing in line at 10 in the morning, like they going to Foot Locker for the next shoe release. Come on.
I put out a video yesterday. It was so many people in front of Popeyes. It was crazy. It looked like they were giving out like free stuff. But
I've seen a post that they were putting like bleach and all this extra stuff.
That's a Facebook scam post.
Is that the same? So is that
that's a Mormons at Chick-fil-A.
Everyone was posting on Instagram a scam too about Instagram using your picture publicly. Post it so you can be saved.
Once your picture's up there, they can do whatever the fuck.
It's already public.
When you sign up for social media,
you already click
okay that you agree to the terms and conditions. How do you think people been going to jail all these years? Telling on themselves on Instagram because they go on Instagram.
Right there on live.
They going on their feed and they seeing all the shit that they post. They've been using that in court. So when people post shit like that, I just be sitting there like, who believes this? Because if you got any inkling of sense. It was a couple of celebrities. I was like, you know better than this.
He's so in the zone where you think he would have done his research to know that shit's not real.
And he's been in jail for some illegal shit, so he should know. But it's easy to get caught up in that. That's how they do it on Facebook. They just put some shit and then it just starts to cycle and cycle and cycle. But that was the first time I ever seen one of those like chain letters get taken to Instagram. I was shocked. I was like, nobody's gonna believe this. And next thing I know, all through my timeline. I'm like,
I know you saw you posted if you see anybody that you know.
Oh, that was you.
I just felt
he was done with them.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I was disappointed in my Instagram followers because I thought that they were smarter than that. That's like some old Facebook scam shit for some people that's over 50 that's reading it that believe anything.
Well, so like to get back to that too, right? Like, so, you know, back when Trump got elected, they had this whole thing of like, who's gullible and who will vote for what and who will vote for this. I feel like the people that are posting that shit are going to get put into a bucket of who's gullible and get sent all these ads to vote for some shit that they are not smart enough to look up. You know what I'm saying?
Fire Festival motherfuckers that's posting that shit. People that fell for that bullshit. Those are the type of people.
Hey, yo, I heard that fool was trying to throw another Fire Festival. John Rule,
and guess what? It's going to be successful. Watch.
Because he learned his lesson. He learned his lesson.
You know how much money he made off of that? You know how much money he made off of his fuck up after? You know how many stories?
It wasn't his fault.
It wouldn't, but still, he's still gonna make all that money. He's recouping all this money. Okay, you fucked up the first time. Now you got all this buzz. I know once you announce that you're about to do the second one, everybody's gonna be interested in it. So why not? It's a marketing ploy.
Man, but how stupid would you feel if it fucked up again? Like if you buy tickets, you're like, ooh.
I don't think it's not gonna fuck up.
If you can't learn from your mistakes off of that, then like I don't know what to tell you.
It was somebody I seen an interview, and I don't remember it completely, but I remember it was somebody that he had hired in that scenario, and it wasn't necessarily him. So I think he split from that person, and now it's a better situation.
Well, that dude's locked up.
Yeah, what was the white dude's name?
Locked up.
Do you remember his name? What was his name?
He's locked up. But even after he got busted, he was still trying to sell shit to the people that had signed up and spent money for the Fire Festival. He was trying to sell them for some other shit.
I'm pulling for John.
Oh, no. He put him on like a new email list or some shit. Was trying to sell him some new shit.
Hustle him, the same people again.
That's Grammy tickets, backstage. You're like, what, bro? Like, how'd you get that? You know what I'm saying? You got 1,000 of them on deck? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Well, you guys, it's been real. It's been chill.
It's time
and
to
it's
go.
about that time. Pierre, thank you so much, though, for coming through.
Absolutely.
You're so dope. I love to see people
amazing.
working and, you know, see people be humble and just continue to progress and just have goodness come out of it, you know. And I hope you just keep striving, and I know you will. You're already in it. You feel me?
Yes, I am.
So thank you so much for coming through and telling us what's really goody on the Fixx.
Thank you very much for having me.
With my main two guys.
Three now.
Ooh,
Three.
wait, hold up. I forgot. We got we adopted a child.
Can't be leaving nobody out.
I'm joking.
Don't
I'm just
forget
messing.
Be Easy.
We adopted one more to the crew. You guys hear it. It's the Fixx.
Make sure you tune in every Wednesday, 12 noon on Dash Talk X. And make sure you follow us on Instagram under the Fixx Audiocast. Make sure you visit our website, www.thefixaudiocast.com. Actually, our app is actually being relaunched. This one's better than the last app that we had. It's going to be available next week, and it's free.
That's right.
You can hear all of our archive episodes. It has all of our social media links, and also it gives you an interactive connection with the host to let you know what we're doing outside of the Fixx. If I have a DJ gig, if Be Easy has a DJ gig, you know about that. Capo has a performance. Codigo's doing something or she's hosting something, boom, we can just hit you directly right off the app. It goes into your phone like a text message. So make sure you download that. But, man, this was a dope show, man. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. You guys can find me at just Pierre, just Pierre, the one and only.
That's what's up. And if you need some inspiration, man, look at his social media, man. This dude is doing his thing. But thank you for tuning in. You listen to The Fixx on Dash Talk X.
Chill.